Well, the planned stint of our adventures in Utah is about over. We had a great time hiking Zion National Park yesterday. We hiked a total of about 10 miles, including over some tough waterfalls, and yeah, it was great though, a lot of fun, but we're sore today and glad we don't have any major hikes planned. We were on the freeway headed out of Utah when we saw signs on I-15 on the freeway for dinosaur tracks. So that's how we wound up at St. George's Dinosaur Discovery Site. And we're gonna go check that out before we head out of Utah. Looks like they have a fun gift shop. So the entrance has all sorts of great information on what is paleontology, what do they do. A fun scavenger hunt for the kids with clues. And if the kids complete it, then they get to pick a prize. We have areas where kids can pretend they're paleontologists and dig for dinosaur bones. This is the entrance to their main exhibit. So it turns out that this was an area where dinosaur tracks were discovered, and there's videos and stuff to read about that to learn how they were discovered. So the ground opens up to the actual dirt where the tracks are, where they were discovered, and they're marked by arrows. Some of them are marked by arrows.
And layers. Ooh, hey, over there was one found in layer B called Earbo.
Where? I don't see. Oh, yes. So while this is natural rock and earth, that they've built a museum around the tracks. And they explain that these big cracks are natural fractures in the joint rock layers, and they're not man-made. And they do a good job pointing out what is actually man-made. So for example, that is labeled modern machinery marks. Like here says that this rock has ripple marks but no dinosaur tracks. However, they're going to be excavating soon to look for more tracks. You can learn all about the different layers of the earth. There's lots of stuff that talks about that as it relates to dinosaur tracks. So it's a fun interactive way for the kids to learn about the layers of the earth and a little bit about geology. Particularly if they have an interest in dinosaurs. And they have fun models of dinosaurs here. Particularly of the ones that they believe made the tracks here at this location. The Ubrontes. How's the scavenger hunt going?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's unique about this dinosaur museum as opposed to some of the other ones that we went to is that it gives a great view into what paleontologists do. So up ahead where I'm walking to, there's a paleontologist lab where you can look into the lab and see what that looks like. Also a lot of plaques explaining how fossils are prepared and where those the history of fossil preparation. We're at the fossil preparation laboratory. This looks like it's an actual working lab. You can see a scientist in there actually working on fossils. Very cool way to give kids an insight into how they could have a career in studying dinosaurs, if that's something they're passionate about. Wow.
She's currently working on a fish.
So there are paleontologists actually in the lab working. Very cool. Here's another way that they're really giving a visual look at the layers of the earth in reference to where the tracks are found. I have to say, I think this is a much better way to learn about the layers of the earth than from a textbook. Much more memorable. So there's a plaque here that says that this is a rare skin impression. Dinosaur tracks can be quite common in rock formations deposited during the Mesozoic era, about 251 to 65 million years ago. However, fine details such as skin impressions are very rare because they require very specific rare sediment conditions. So this is an actual skin impression of a dinosaur track. There's a plaque here that says dinosaur tracks can be quite common in rock formations deposited during the Mesozoic era. However, fine details such as skin impressions are very rare because they require very specific rare sediment conditions. Only a few tracks preserved at this site have clear skin impressions. Skin impressions show that skin on the sides and bottoms of dinosaur feet were covered by tiny, circular bump-like scales, about 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter. Where the scales on the side of the foot dragged through the sediment, they carved tiny and parallel grooves called scratch lines. They have this great big wall here of dinosaur tracks found in the area. As well as more displays with lots of information about the tracks, more skin impressions. Wow, that's a really big track. That's a Tyrannosaurus pilmore left footprint replica. This one's a replica. Scientists believe this dinosaur track may have been made by the T-Rex during the late Cretaceous era. I love the idea of the scavenger hunt. Because kids don't always want to stand there and read the plaques. But with the scavenger hunt, it really motivates them to do that for the prize, and it makes it more fun. They have great paintings on some of the walls as well, painting scenes of what it might have looked like when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Exhibits of fossils that were found locally in Utah of plants, as well as shark teeth and fossils of marine life that were found locally in Utah. Looks like marine fossils or some sort of snails there. We do have a lot of ways for kids to learn about geology. This is really interesting. They have a living example here of stromatolites which are cyanobacteria. We actually learned a little bit about cyanobacteria at Arches National Park. But here they have a rock with living cyanobacteria that they occasionally spray with salt water to keep it alive.
Object history of the top surface track site is complex.
Well, we just finished at the St. George Dinosaur Discovery Site. What did you think, Tristan?
It was pretty good.
Yeah? What was the best part about it?
I'm going to have to say the search.
Okay, cool. And that's probably our last stop in Utah. So what did you think of our Utah road trip so far?
It was pretty good.
What was your favorite stop?
I'm gonna have to say Zion.
Zion was amazing. What was your favorite part about Zion?
Getting to the end.
You mean getting to the end of the Narrows? Yeah, that was pretty good. We did a great job hiking there. High five. All right.